Hey there, if you feel like you're always working, you can never get away from the business, and despite pouring everything you have into your work, you're not really getting ahead, you're not moving the needle. In this video, I want to share with you two incredibly powerful concepts that I learned from bodybuilding of all places that you can apply to your business and make a transformational change starting right now. My name is Jason Wojo. I run a company called Lifeonaire. Our whole mission, our MO, is to help overworked business owners reclaim their lives and prioritize the things that are most important while not sacrificing business success. I want you to have both, an amazing business and an amazing life. So before I tell you about the principles and how to apply them to your business, I want to give you some context for this and tell you the story of how I learned these things. And so back in the day, I was a competitive national level bodybuilder. And the overwhelming majority of people that I was competing against were using what's called like high volume approaches to training, which means they're in the gym doing 20, 30, 40 sets per workout. And they're in there for 2, 3+ hours sometimes. And that was the belief that you had to do all this work to be successful as a competitor. And along comes this guy, his name is Dante Trudell, who has this low volume approach to training. Now, he didn't invent this stuff. He had some predecessors before him that laid the groundwork for him as well. And I was attracted to this method of training because he'd had some pretty substantial claims as far as the results he was getting with other trainees, from hard gainers, people that couldn't gain muscle easily, and that was me. And so I approached Dante and I asked him to start training me. And we start working together, and he lays out my program for me. And I look at the program and I said, dude, where's the rest of it? Because on that workout sheet, it literally said, one exercise for a body part, and it's basically one set. So literally one set per body part. So I'm getting in and out of the gym for, if I do, let's say I do chest, shoulders, and tries together, that's 3 sets that I'm done for the entire workout. Meanwhile, my previous workout had me doing, 12 to 15 sets just for chest, 12 to 15 sets just for shoulders, and 12 to 15 sets just for tries. So I literally am going from somewhere between 30+ sets to 3. And I looked at this and I said, hey man, is this correct? And he's like, yes. He's like, the one rule I have is that you don't add sets if you don't feel like you got to work out. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess so. That's fine. Like, I'll just work really hard. And he's like, make that promise for me. And I said, okay. And so I go to the gym. I load up all the weights like he says, and I do this one set, which is actually a mini combination of a few different things all together. And I feel like I just warmed up. And I remember his rule saying, don't go back and add sets. Don't go back. Don't resist the urge to do more. And I go back to him and I said, hey man, I don't think this worked. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I just felt like I was warming up. Like, I didn't even get a workout. He's like, yeah. He's like, because you don't know how to work hard yet. And I took that a little bit offensively. I said, what are you talking about, man? I'm like, I work really hard. And what he said stuck with me to this point. He said, no, you know how to pace yourself and work hard over a period of time, but you don't know you haven't learned yet to really condense all of that effort into one maximal intense set. And I said, okay, well, I'll try it again. So I go back in the gym, and after a period of a couple of weeks, a couple different workouts, eventually I start to feel like I got a workout. And then eventually it starts to get hard. And then eventually I started to feel that after that one set, I could not do a literal another rep. If my life depended on it, I would not be able to get that repetition. And what he had told me, and the reason I'm telling you this now is because what most business owners do is they know how to apply a generalized effort over an extended period of time. Now, some of this comes from if you've ever had a W-2 job, like you had an 8-hour workday, a 10-hour workday that you had to put in, what did you do? You paced yourself. You paced yourself out over that period of time, whether you realized it or not. Because if you got all your work done and your boss said, hey, listen, you get all your work done, you can go home, you would have got it done in a fraction of the time. Now, by analogy, this is exactly what I was doing in the gym. So I was used to being in there for 30 sets for 2+ hours. And so I was in, without even knowing it maybe, pacing myself. And so this is what business owners do. We think we're supposed to work long hours. We think we're supposed to be, from dusk to dawn, busting our tail. But in fact, if you actually look at how much work you're putting in, it's not as much as you think. And so, for instance, there was a study done in 2017 where they looked at 1,989 office workers, and they found the average person worked 2 hours and 53 minutes of actual work per day, a fraction of what they were there for, right? And so if we approach our business with this same intensity, you will be able to work less. And I can prove to you beyond a shadow of doubt this is true, because I have no doubt you've gone on a vacation on a Saturday morning, and you got more done that Friday than the previous Monday through Thursday, right? Because you had to, because you had a reason why. And by the way, this is why I talk so much about having a vision, because if you don't have a vision, if you don't have things on your calendar that you want to do, you're just going to work because you have nothing else to do. Like, why else wouldn't you work? Like, you probably might even enjoy your work, hopefully. And so what I'm trying to convey here is that, like, when you have a vision and now you also learn how to really extend maximal effort in smaller periods of time, really restricted time blocks, you will get the results you're looking for in the business. Now, there's one other huge piece of this I haven't told you yet, which is that you have to be working on the right things. So in this program with Dante, he had me doing compound exercises, the big heavy lifts. I was doing deadlifts and squats. I wasn't doing, pink dumbbell kickbacks, right? I wasn't doing the little fluffy stuff. Like, I was in there doing the hard stuff. And that is the other thing that keeps business owners so busy, is this distraction with doing things that don't really matter. Like, it's not the constraint of the business. It's not the problem that you're currently facing. It's not the bottleneck that you're currently in, right? And you're doing all this other stuff. And yeah, maybe it's improving the business. Maybe it's a tweak to a process, or maybe it's a little, the logo, you're getting your high definition logo now, or you're like creating a little bit more, copy for the website, whatever it is. But deep down, that's not the stuff that's going to move the needle. And we have this reservation to really dive in and do those things, but it's exactly those things that will give you the results you're looking for. And so you got to really kind of embrace this shift of thinking to two things. One is maximal effort in short periods of time, and also doing that with the things that matter most. And if you do these two things, your business will be absolutely transformed in a huge way. Now, how do you actually measure this? So for instance, in the gym, I could very easily, just assess like how strong I was getting and how much energy I had left in the tank. With business, it's a little bit different. So a couple tips, like really practical tactics to start thinking about this is, one is I'd encourage you to really time block. Give yourself, hey, I have a half hour towards this right now, and I am going to, from start to finish, like work on nothing else but that period of time. And I'm going to imagine this is a race. I'm going to imagine this is a sprint. And at the end of this time block, how much did I get accomplished? Another way to do this is to set a timer starting at 0. And what you want to do is hit start. And as soon as you start working on that task, like feverishly working on it, like fully concentrated, fully focused, as soon as you break focus, as soon as you get up and feel the urge to check Facebook or check your email or get up and do whatever, like look at how long has passed. And many times you will look at that timer, it's like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and you recognize like, wow, like I have to develop that muscle of focus. I have to develop that muscle of focus intensity so that I can really get things done. Because like right now, and by the way, this isn't your fault at all. Like this is the way we are taught. We are taught to pace ourselves. We are brought up to be employees and cogs in a system that essentially rewards us on a time-based scale. Side note, this is why I have some issues with like hourly based compensation. That's a topic for another video. But like, here's what I want you to recognize is like when you learn how to do this and you test yourself and you hold yourself accountable to it, you will begin to make progress. And the less you want to work in your business, maybe let's say your vision has you, if your vision has you available for work 50 hours a week or 40 hours a week, yeah, admittedly, you can be a whole lot less disciplined. You can be a whole lot less focused and still get the work done. But let's say your vision has you working 20 hours a week or 15 or 10 hours a week. And now you have to get done in that 10 hours a week what somebody else can get done in 40 hours. You have to be that much more efficient, that much more effective. You don't have to be that much more smart or intelligent, or you have that much more skills, but I think it's truly the focus that is the determining factor in allowing you to make that change. And so having that focus, doing the things that are important, those two things, my friend, will absolutely transform your life and your business. I have so many other lessons from bodybuilding that I've learned for business that I want to share in other videos. But if you like this kind of stuff, if you like hearing how you can max out on your life and your business and learn more and apply that stuff, everything I share, I want it to be really applicable, not just, theory, the things I've learned myself through doing it myself. Then follow me and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the other upcoming videos. All right, we'll see you soon.